everyone. Welcome back to the Love Solutions podcast. This is your girl, Sayani.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your girl, Daria Marie. What it do? What it do?
What's up? What's up? What's up? So tonight's this week's topic, this week's topic is solutions on your ex's friends sliding in your DMs.
It go down in the DM. It go down in the DM.
I'm so happy that you mentioned that because I thought about some situations where I'm like, has it happened to me? And I'm like, it definitely has.
9 out of 10 women, it's definitely happened to. Like, no cap. Definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I've also had it where guys that I've dated have tried to talk to either my sisters or my friends after we didn't work out. So it goes, both ways.
What?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So wait, you've had exes slide in your sister's DMs.
100%. Yeah. And their exes have slid in mine. Mm-hmm. Like, bruh, you were literally in my house with my sister. Like you took my sister out on a date. And you'll get it was only one time, something like that. Like, I don't care. At one point, when you wanted to pursue my family member, like I'm all the way good on that. Like, it's hella weird. Like,
Exactly. My thing is, where was the level of respect that you were saying that you had for me, though?
yeah, and then it's awkward and uncomfortable because like you're making me curve you now, and like it's awkward because there was like a amicable respect or some sort of like quote unquote friendship, um and you just like totally crossed the line and made it awkward. But
Exactly.
I've had where I've been in long-term relationships, and throughout the relationship, we would be around their friends and groups of friends and stuff, and then when the relationship ended and they got wind that I was single and no longer with their friend, they would start to like try to hit me up. Like, you should come out, you should come here. And then I'm like, like, you really try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, why are you inviting me? Like, what's your motive? You know what I mean? And then you don't want to ask because you don't want to like assume something, but it's also just like, we have code. Like, I say, if you've been with my family member, if you've been with my friends, if I've been with your family member, I've been with your friends, like, it's just an automatic no for me. Like, there's no little side pockets or any circumstances where I would go against what I believe is right and how I feel. And honestly, it's just uncomfortable for me. Like, it's
Right. I agree because we were in a relationship once upon a time, right? So this is how I look at it. Where it's like, okay, we were in a relationship once upon a time. I trusted you. Obviously, things went left, but it makes me wonder, have you always had a thing for my sisters while you were with me? Were you looking at my sisters a certain way while you were with me? Did you think that my sisters would actually go that route, or that I would do that to my sisters? Like, where did you get that insinuation that that was okay?
So for me, it's like what I actually verbally said was, at one point you were actually interested in pursuing my sister, right? Like, you were romantically interested in my sister. And if you know me and my sisters, we're best friends. So even though we are blood, we have the same mom, same dad, all of that. You at one
Right.
point, and then there's been times where like I've actually been with, and my younger sister and I look the most alike, and we're together most of the time. And before she was in a relationship, we used to go out a lot. And there would be times where, like, we would be together, and the guy would pursue my sister, and I'd be standing right there. You know what I mean? So, like,
Right.
you're interested in her, and then she's now in a relationship, and you find that it didn't work with her. So now you're coming on to me, right? So it's just like, that's the reason why we wanted to bring up this topic, because it happens so often. more often than not. And I've actually seen it the reverse, where I've seen women actually go after men because they'll see how a man treats a woman or their friend or their acquaintance, and they feel like,
Yep.
like it didn't work with her, so maybe he'll do the same thing for me. It's trifling, like someone else said. Exactly. Like that's exactly what it is.
Is very trifling, and someone called them clowns too, and I agree, because when a woman does it, and I've seen women do it. I've none of my friends, but I've seen like other women actually slide into my friend's ex. Like it's, you know me. You know what I mean? You know me. And the fact that as a woman, you felt that comfortable to go ahead and slide into my ex's DMs because now him and I are no longer together. That just, it seems like you, like I was a threat to you. Like my relationship is what you wanted. And if you're so called my friend, you wouldn't do something like that. You wouldn't slide into my ex's DMs and vice versa. If we have a level of friendship and respect for one another, that's not something that you would expect from me, right? But when it happens, it brings up all these questions and wonders where now I'm looking at you a little funny because we could have had a friendship. We could have, if it was one of those, if it was one of those relationships where you two came to uh, a decision and was like, listen, I'm no longer interested and this is why, and I feel like it would be best if we just went our separate ways, and you guys are like, oh, you know what, we're friends, right? We're just gonna be friends. Okay, cool, we could remain friends, but not if you have a whole like plan behind you and I being friends, because that's how I'm gonna look at it now. Now I'm gonna have to curve you. Now I'm gonna have to be like, I don't even want to be friends with you. I'm good, my boy. I'm good, my girl. Like I'm good, because my thing is, why are you so desperate? To me, in my opinion, that's how I look at it. You're so desperate that you have options out here. You have options out here, but you decide to do this. Your intentions clearly, again, in my opinion, is to hurt me, is to make me feel some type of way. This is how you're trying to get to me. And that I don't respect. I really don't. And if, and this happened to me where it's like I had my ex's cousin actually tell me things that
Just shut
he
off.
was, huh?
It said my lights just shut off. I have electricians working on the apartment downstairs
Oh,
all the
you
time.
still a good girl.
Then my sister goes, I'm going down to talk to them. Go ahead, baby. It's like, thank God I
No,
got this little ring light going on. Go ahead.
it's okay. So what I was saying was I had my ex's cousin, when we broke up, he told me everything that I knew was already happening, but he confirmed so much. And I remember telling my friends, I'm like, bruh, listen, like, sis, his cousin told me everything that he was doing behind my back. Why would he go ahead and turn his back on his own cousin and tell me everything that, like, he saw firsthand and experienced him cheating and all that in front of his face, knowing that him and I were together? And when him and I broke up, his cousin told me everything. So then my sis tells me, she's like, girl, you don't think he likes you? You don't think that he just, I was like, well, I sat there and I thought about it and I said, you know what? There has been more than a few times where he did tell me, you need to leave him. You deserve better.
Mm.
You need to leave him. You deserve better. And the way I was taking it was, perhaps, oh, have a great night too. We definitely will stay beautiful. Thank you so much. That was so nice of you. Thank you.
Thanks,
We'll
love.
get, yeah, thank you. We'll get to the comments in a bit. But yeah, it was like I was thinking about it and I just told myself, I looked at it as he was looking out for me because I knew him as someone that cared about people. You know what I mean? Like cared about us. So, but after the fact that he was so adamant about sitting down and having conversation with me and telling me all of these things that I already somewhat knew, but the fact that he confirmed all of this, it just spoke volumes to me in regards to your loyalty as not only his family, but you don't owe me no loyalty. So there must be something there because of how he would approach me or the things that he would say. And I just started thinking about that. And I'm like, wow, not only that, but some of his friends definitely tried to slide into my DMs like I was going to give them the time of day. Because what happens is you're a beautiful woman, D. And I'm pretty sure there are women that are going to listen to this and be like, yeah, so I know I'm gorgeous. You know what I mean? I know I had it going on. And the man that they were with didn't know how to appreciate. It's not only about the physical, but who they were in the relationship. Who they were in the relationship to this man, right? And vice versa, okay? Because it goes both ways, like you said, it goes both ways. But the matter of the fact is, when you and I were together and you were treating me a certain way, or I was treating you a certain way, I'm just going to focus on women right now, just so that I can make my point. His friends that would be around us, your friends that would be around us, saw how you would treat me. And not only that, but wish that they could treat me better. I feel that I feel that way. Like I feel like there are friends of exes that in present time knew about the situation and what was going on and looked at you like only if I could. Only if I could really take care of this woman and show her how she needs to be treated. But the thing is, it's not your place though. And
Right.
I feel like that's where things go left because just because we broke up doesn't mean that I'm going to go ahead and give you an opportunity because you slide into my DMs. That doesn't mean I'm that type of woman. Doesn't mean that I'm that type of man to just be like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, if you're trying to get even, if you're trying to, look for revenge, you are gonna do that. There are some people that will be like, you know what? Because I want them to feel me. They played me. I'm gonna go ahead and do their best friend.
I have a crazy story. So I met somebody out one night, like organically, met this guy, and we started seeing each other, whatever. And then eventually we asked for social media. So we exchanged social media, and we have one mutual friend. And she wasn't a close friend of mine, but she was someone that I used to work with in the past for a
Right.
very short time. She was on a leave replacement, then I took the permanent position. So she was on with me for probably a month to train me, and then she left. She was younger than me, but like we went out to lunch together, we went for drinks one time, and I had a lot of respect for her. She was a really awesome girl. So I had said to him, I was like, "Oh, how do you know her?" And he was like, "Oh, like I don't really know her very well. Like she's just like somebody that like I have on Instagram." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So we continue to talk. We get a little bit more serious. We start becoming intimate, all of those things. And I think I had like tagged him in something on something or whatever. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night, and I get a message from her. And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"How do you know him?" Right.
Right.
So immediately I'm like, why is she asking me this? Because I already asked him, and he told me that there was like, that she's just some girl he knows on social media. And I was like, oh, like I met him out at the bar, like I've been seeing him, whatever, whatever. And she was like, um, I dated him for years. He got me pregnant. Like this whole fucking story about this history that she's had with this man that he completely left out.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. Time out. This just went left super quick. Okay, hold on.
It,
Wait a minute.
yeah.
Wait. Repeat that one more time.
Which part?
The part of you, like you guys, you met him while she was there.
No, I met him out one night. Like I was out at a bar, and to be honest, he grabbed me like by my arm, and he was like, "Damn!" when he saw me at the bar, and I like smiled at him or whatever, and he like followed me outside, and he was like, "Can I get your number?" Wound up where like he lived right next to where I worked, so like he lived really close to my job. We started to see each other. We started to hang out a lot. We became intimate. Like I started to really like. And then when we added each other on social media, I asked him how he knew this girl because her and I used to work together for a short period of time. And when I asked him, he like very belittled the situation and was just kind of like, "Oh, I don't really know her. Like, you know, like we're just like kind of friends or whatever." Like no detail, nothing of any substance whatsoever. And then I tagged him in something. I think it was on Twitter. This was like a while ago. And she saw it and she texted me and was like, "How do you know so and so?" And I told her because like she's like my girl. And I was like, "Yeah, like I met him out. Like we've been seeing each other, we've been dating, blah, blah, blah." And she was like, "You probably like had no idea, but like him and I were together for a really long time. Like I went through a lot with him. He got me pregnant, like this whole story." So this is the best part. She messages me this as I'm on my way to go meet up with him. Okay. So he gets in the car and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" I flipped out. His reasoning was that he knew that if I knew his past with her, that I wasn't going to fuck with him. So selfishly, he told me that he didn't really know her, whatever, whatever, because he knew that the type of woman that I am, that because she's my friend, that I wouldn't have messed with him, right?
Right.
So then it just so happened she had asked me about it because she noticed that him and I were friends and that I tagged him in something, and the truth came to light. So I told her obviously the whole truth. She told me the whole truth. She was not upset with me at all because I was honest with her. I said, "You know, had I had known," I asked him about you. "Had I had known, like I wouldn't have continued anything with him." But he was so
Right.
nonchalant about like just like some girl. Like I don't really like know her like that. Yeah, they had a whole history together. We're together for years. Like this whole story.
So
Mm-hmm.
the boy Rye, I'm sorry, go ahead.
He should have given me the option. That's 100% correct. But selfishly, and he owned it. Like to be not to like give him any credit or anything, but like he did own it. Like he's like, "I knew that if you knew the whole story after you told me you worked with her and that like you guys hung out and stuff, that you probably wouldn't talk to me." And like, yeah, obviously not. So
First of first of all, like the boy Rye said, my boy Ryan, you dodged a bullet, but the fact that it was like you were the prey, and he was a wolf in sheep's clothing, and that's facts. Like it irritates my soul. It irritates my soul when anyone undervalues the existence of someone that you put them through some bullshit. Like you put them through some bullshit and you undervalue their existence. And you really have, like, how hurtful that is to know I've been pregnant. We have history together. And you had the nerve to tell me that you have the nerve to tell somebody else that you don't know me.
right,
You don't know that, you don't even like, I don't know that girl like that. You have some cojones to really sit there and look, not whether you're a man or a woman, please understand that there is such thing as a level of respect. Like I knew I couldn't date certain men in certain areas because of the fact that they were too close to where my ex was from. And that's facts. That's what I did. I did not want to, out of respect, because of the fact that I just don't. I know there's so many options out here. Why am I gonna just go to this one area? Because I don't I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't feel comfortable knowing that, oh, he could possibly know my ex, and now he's
Right.
hearing all of these things about me. In your situation, it was, of course, different circumstances, but this girl worked with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, used to work with you. And the fact that he was just on some nonchalant, whatever, like, it is what it is, says a lot about him as a person. And I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, when people, if people ever come across, like, there's been actual times in life where I'm sure other people can relate, that you've actually found that you're either attracted to or you connect with somebody that's like way too close for comfort. Like, it may be somebody that your friend dated, or someone that's friends with a friend of an ex, like whatever the case is, and you find that as a human being you're actually like attracted and intrigued to this person, but you know deep down that it's going to be messy. So I feel like
Yep.
for me, like, I don't want to sign up for something that's going to bring any drama or be messy for me in my life. So you have to have those boundaries and limitations for yourself when you're dating and when you're talking to people and you're entertaining people, because you have to prioritize what means more to you. You know, your name and your reputation, or you getting it in with somebody that you're just like intrigued by. And like, there's been times where people have been like, oh well, what if it's like the love of your life, and like what if they, just dated somebody, and like, no, it's like you said, there's so many options and there's so many people out there, that you have to navigate between those things, and you have to prioritize what's more important to you. You're going to cause drama and cause a mess, and you don't want to bring drama to a brand new relationship.
Exactly. I don't want to start a fresh new relationship with all of this drama and all of this turmoil. On top of that, you're a liar. You're a liar, bruh. Like, you really thought you was. And the thing is, sooner or later, the things that you do in the dark will come to light.
The truth
I
always.
am a I'm a true believer in that. You could choose. You have options, right? And it's like, what option do I go with? Okay, do I tell her the truth, or do I just lie? Oh, because I want to be selfish and this is about me and me only. He's not even considering you and your feelings. That's
Correct.
what really pissed me off.
And my
With
friend
huh?
and my friendship with this girl, like, luckily I was so forthcoming and honest with her and told her, I was like, I will never see him again. Like, if this is something, like, that's gonna affect mine and your friendship. And I had no idea. I had asked him about you already, and she was like, girl, I don't blame you at all. Like, I know you, I know the type of person you are. I know that you're not, like, I asked you about it and you were so honest about, like, obviously you had nothing to hide because you genuinely did not know. And I really didn't. I really had no idea.
Right. So Raw 2678 said, how can you build a bond founded on lies? It's not going to build a healthy relationship. It's not. And then 904 Gator said, but men want to act right until they're ready or at a certain point in life. I understand that. I understand they act right until they're ready or at a certain point in their lives, but it's not it goes both ways. I feel like whether you are a man or a woman, you have choices in life, right? And if you choose over and over and over again to commit the same mistakes over and over again, knowing that it's hurting someone, knowing that you can't just go ahead and have a fresh start in a new relationship by sliding into somebody's DM, because I'm pretty sure he knew. I'm pretty sure he knew. Like Ryan said, you were prey and he saw that opportunity. He went for it. He knew that you were friends with that girl, because there's no way that he didn't know and she just out of nowhere hits you up like, hey, just so you know, like, I just
No,
want to
I
know.
I told him that she was my friend. So he, honestly, for his defense, we met at a bar. Like, he didn't pick me out of a crowd. We've never seen each other before. We don't have any of the same friends. Like, he
But
saw me.
does he follow her on Instagram or
Yeah, but
whatever social media?
exchange social medias immediately. When we exchanged social medias, I asked him how he knew this girl, and I told him, because I used to work with her, whatever. I told him that her and I had a friendship, and that's when he downplayed and was like, "Oh yeah, like, there was like nothing. Like, I don't really know this chick like that." Like, so it's not like he knew I was her friend from the jump and like went after me. We found out after the fact, but he was already interested in me at that point. So it was like, selfishly, instead of him being honest and forthcoming and telling me the truth, he decided to be a liar and not tell me the truth and risk me finding out in the end, which I wound up finding out. And it took a really long time for us to repair that, because he's begged and begs for me to be his friend. And I actually saw him like not too long ago. He's in another relationship with another girl. Saw him with his girl out. And you know what's crazy? This is what happened when he saw me out recently. His girl went to the bathroom, and he came up to me at the bar and told me that I looked good. And he was like, "I go away now before my girlfriend comes back." So like, it's just like, people just do shit, you know, like and that's why I'm here and not with him. And honestly, I liked him a lot until I found out what happened, and then I was like, you know what, like.
So did y'all date at all? No, they didn't. He's asking if you dated him at all.
Yeah, so I didn't find out right away about him and this girl. So him and I were dating already. We added each other on social media, and I asked him how he knew her. He told me he didn't really know her. And then it wasn't until like maybe like a month later that she hit me up and was like, "Oh, how do you know him?" Because this is what happened. So yes, we had been hanging out and all of that stuff for quite some time before I actually found out the truth.
Got it.
And it got really messy at that point.
So someone said that women go after their friends' mans sometimes. And the thing is, it happens a lot. I'm not excusing women from this. I'm not excusing either or, because it, like we said from the beginning of this podcast, it goes both ways. It could be your ex-girlfriend's friends sliding into your DMs. It could be your ex-boyfriend's friends sliding into your DMs. These are things that do happen, and it's real, but it's what you choose to do after that. Like, do you go ahead and give them that attention that, you know, that they want? Are you really going to put yourself or mess up your friendship? Like, I've known men that have dated the friend, the best friend, the cousin, okay? All three at the same time. And guess what? Out of the three women, the friend, the best friend, or the cousin, one of the three know that he's dating the best friend and the cousin.
Alexa,
So
play Love by Drake.
you said what, babe?
I said, Alexa, play Crew Love by Drake.
Facts. These and these. That's facts. And she loving the crew. Yeah, she loving the crew. She loving the crew.
The
It
best
is,
friend. So you said with your brother, the best friend, the sister, and the cousin.
bruh. And the thing is, if you really decide to do something like that, especially to your best friend or to, that says a lot about you as a person. And I don't respect it. I don't. I really don't. That's just me. I don't respect it.
He said dating or just she messing with them all. I mean, either way is just not cool.
Yeah, either way is not cool. I would not, if any of my ex's friends slid into my DMs, which they have, I don't pay them no mind. I pay them no mind. I had one cousin tell me, now that you with him, you gonna give me a chance? What? What do I look like to you?
I screenshot the shit and sent it to my sister. I'm like, homeboy's trying to hit on me now. And she's just like laughing my ass off. Like, because it's happened so many times. Because me and her are so much alike. Like, we do the same things. We're both teachers. We have similar bodies, shapes, like personalities. Like, so it's like, oh, I can't get with you, so let me try your sister. Like, I don't understand that mentality. I really don't get it.
So the boy Rai said, bruh, folks be trying to play y'all like jump offs. Let me tell you something. Um, oh, before I say something, Ooh La La said, so is it still bad if y'all not friends no more and it's her ex? I told them it's kind of weird. It is. It
That
is
also
kind
happened.
of weird.
That
Huh?
happened to me. That happened to me too with a girl that I was friends with, and her and I are no longer friends. And then when her and her man broke up, he was hitting me up crazy, like, but he was so like not didn't really talk to me at all when her and I were friends and they were together. And it's like a whole different person now. But it's almost like, okay, so were you peeping me the entire time, like the whole time that I was hanging out with her and you were around us? Like it's so weird. Like you just never know.
You never
Motive.
know. And that's another thing. That boy Rye Bread said, folks be trying to play us like we're jump offs. He's talking about you and I, D. And the thing is, D and I, we always talk about this, which is there is this generalization when it comes to men and women. All men are the same. All women are the same. And the thing is, the truth of the matter is, okay, not every woman or man is exactly the same. We are not all the same. So it makes me feel a certain way. And someone asked it if I sent my ex that information. No, because I don't talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. I'm at that time when we broke up. We broke up, and that's all there was to it. You get what I'm saying? I don't have to. I don't have to send it to him. What's the point? It's up to me. It's my choice. So am I gonna go with it or am I gonna ignore it? No, I'm gonna ignore it. Because at the end of the day, to me, that's hella disrespectful. That's one. Two, I'm definitely not interested. And I feel like my reputation is very important. And the way I've always carried myself, that's exactly how I'm going to carry myself. No matter how I feel about my ex, I could be angry, I could be upset, I could be however it is that I feel. I'm not going to go ahead and out of revenge, I'm going to go, go do that. What is that going to do for me?
Yeah, I like how you said that, like, not everybody's the same, because I know some men, so I'm going to speak on behalf of men right now, that if they know that you've been with anybody that they know, they are turned off by that and don't even want to get with you like that. So there's some
Right.
people, I feel the same way. Like, a guy can be extremely attractive, but if I know that you hooked up with my sister, or you hooked up with my homegirl, or like your shit was inside of a girl that I know, like, I don't want to fuck with you. Like, that's weird to me. Like, so yeah, I don't understand why people just think that it's just a free for all, and like there's no boundaries or limitations to it. So like if there's dudes on this podcast, and I know many myself that say like, nah, like if she's been with anybody even in my city that I know, or any of my boys or any of my boys' cousins, like somebody that if I look at them in the face and I know them and you've been with them, I don't want to get with you. And I like that, because you're holding a standard for yourself, no matter how attracted you are to this woman, no matter how intrigued you might be by this person. It's because you have morals for yourself and you don't want to cross that line. That's a,
Period. You said a whole lot, and that everything you said was on point. Period. Somebody said, if your friend sleeps with your ex, that's no accident on their part. Absolutely not. That is something that they've been waiting to do, waiting to get into. And my thing is, you could feel however it is that you want to feel about your ex, right, D? Like, you have every right. Like, whatever it is that y'all went through, and you could feel the however you want to feel, but it doesn't mean that you need to wish them the worst, or
right.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that you can't go through the motions, because we're human at the end of the day. So if you feel a certain way, you're angry, you just like you can't stand this person at that moment. It's natural and it's normal, and I get it. But do I have to stoop this low, like super hella low, to make a point to my ex by sleeping with one of his friends?
Well, that's the
No, I
thing.
do not, because that's not the point. I'm not going through this healing journey sleeping with his ex so I could make myself feel better and so that he could feel some type of way. Guess what? This is not about him. It's about me, and I need to take care of me. Whatever anger it is that I'm dealing with, I need to do it on my own, and I need to work through it. I need to self-reflect and go through the healing process. That's not going to do anything for me except make me feel worse.
It's also, that's, you're also going to make out you when you diminish yourself and when you bring yourself down to a level that you're not even about. So for example, my ex that I was with for 2 years did me dirty, right? The last relationship, the last committed serious relationship that I was in. And this is a prime example of the topic of this evening. One of his good friends was constantly hitting me up after we broke up, asking me to come out, to come to this event, this, and that. And I easily could have engaged. I easily could have went. I easily could have hooked up with him, but that wasn't
Right.
going to take, that wasn't going to take away from what he did to me and how the relationship ended. It would only honestly make me feel worse because I'm going against my morals and the way that I move in life, right? So like if you're
Exactly.
to get revenge, you're really like honestly just like bringing your own self-esteem, your own worth down because you're doing something that's foul, and you're belittling yourself and bringing yourself to a level that's below who you actually are because you're trying to get revenge from someone. But mind you, it's not going to change what happened in your life, so you might as well just
Right.
keep it right and just find somebody better instead of going with his friends or whoever like that. Just period.
Period. Exactly. Period. And so exactly everything you said, like making him feel a certain way or her feel a certain way is only temporary. And the damage is done. Now that the damage is done, you really just damaged yourself. You really just disrespected yourself. You really just put yourself in a position where now you look crazy.
Right.
And
And now
hey,
your name is in the conversations like, oh, word, like, oh, she let you, whatever, like, and I dated her, like, now you look stupid and you look foul and you look kind of messy, you know what I'm saying? So
exactly. So, what are some solutions that we can, because no matter what we say on here, D, there are going to be men and women that are still going to do what they want to do. They are still going to feel however they feel, and they're going to be like, you know what? I'm still gonna go ahead and get my revenge, and I'm gonna go sleep with his friends, or I'm gonna go try to talk to her friends. And I'm gonna say this right here, right now, on this live and on this podcast, on this live podcast right now. If you really do something like that to your friends, okay, to your friends, you really don't care about your you didn't care about your friends. You don't care about nobody else. You can only care about you, and it is what it is, and you have no loyalty to nobody. You really
it's
don't, because there's plenty of fish in the sea.
it's even glorified in music. Like I don't know if you saw that trend with Cardi's verse in her song,
Tomorrow.
where um fake bitch, that's why my whole fucked on you. And it's like, I think y'all should scissor. You see that whole thing? So she's pretty much saying like, yeah, so my friend like got with your man, like that type of a thing. Like it's glorified, you know, people really do lead with that and use it as a way to hurt somebody else. So when you're talking about solutions, from my experience, story that I told you guys earlier, what I would say is do your homework. Like do
Hello.
a little do a little bit of investigating, try to maybe like eliminate any possible ties or hurting somebody else in the process, especially as you get older. You know, there's more connections that you've made along the way, people that you work with, friends, colleagues, whatever the case may be. And then also
Right.
just don't take away from who you are as a person and what you truly believe is right. Hurt people hurt people. That's like one of my favorite sayings. Absolutely. Um, Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B, culture is trash. Facts. Uh, facts. The shit that they say
That's my
supposed people
girl
to
Shar.
it's like mad catchy. Um, but just honestly, don't belittle yourself. Don't seek revenge in life because karma is karma and it's always going to come back to you. Just be the bigger person. And when you work on yourself and when you heal from a poor situation or something that brought you down, it's only going to get better for you because God will reward you in the future. And that's honestly the best thing that I could tell you guys to do.
Period. Period. And the thing is, I want y'all to understand, okay? I want y'all to understand something. There's a culture, and there's certain people that do certain things, okay? So my thing is if this is what, this is what you want to do, and you feel like this is okay, then hey, by all means. But when things really start happening to you, and in regards to your dating life or your love life, that what you said, D, and I want y'all to understand that is real. When your dating life is not on point, when your love life is not on point, even when your intimacy, okay, you out here, oh, just having your fun, and you not satisfied, that's because of the things that you've done in the past to friends of yours with their men or women. So somebody on here said um not all chemistry is equal. Not all chemistry is equal. My thing is, if you so strongly feel and like and like your man's man, or your girlfriend's uh
Friends.
uh friends,
Home.
homegirls, right? Thank you, D. My thing is, where does your loyalty lie?
And that means
Where
you don't like a man. You're not into it. If you're not fully into it, your eyes and your mind and your sexual desires aren't going to be spiked by another individual. That means you're not meant to be with that person. If somebody else is piquing your interest, you're not where you need to be, baby. You're not.
and that's
Honey.
another you said all the solutions right there. And someone said, I wouldn't never do it to a homegirl ever, but his friends, come on. Listen, says what she wants, says they're not even loyal to themselves. The fuck? And it's true. You're not even loyal to yourself if you really feel like that is something that you need to do to fulfill yourself or to prove a point. You ain't gotta prove a point to nobody. At the end of the day, that is not your man. That is not your girl. And if you feel some type of way around your man's girl or your girl's man, then maybe you need to distance yourself. Maybe you need to go out there and explore other options that are not the option. That's not the option. A family member or a friend.
So pretty
That's all I
much
have to
like
say.
she's saying that she wouldn't have an issue with messing with her ex's friends, but at the end of the day, now you're gonna be chilling with your ex at some point because now you're messing within the same friend group. So now you're with the friend, and him and your ex are still homies. So now you got to be around your ex, and that's what we were talking about earlier. How things could just get super messy, right? Like if you want to sign up for that, that's on you. That's something that I would particularly feel extremely uncomfortable in.
Thanks.
So some people really honestly just really don't care. And like you said, it's about better chemistry. And that's what I also said earlier, that we're human beings. And sometimes you may find yourself like connecting better, stronger with somebody else. You ever be like, yo, damn, I wish I'd have met this person before I met this person type of shit? Like I've had
That
people,
happens.
yeah, it does happen. I've had people say like, oh, I picked the wrong sister. Like, okay, like that sounds like it's a you problem, but that doesn't change the right now. And it sounds like, you're trying to persuade my mind to go against my morals and how I feel. But if you want to eliminate having a messy situation, that's what we're giving you solutions for, is to not put yourself in a messy situation like that.
Yes. And before we go, I will read some comments. I had the opportunity, but I passed it up. Don't really like that vibe. There are other women out there. Exactly. Someone else said, I've seen that. It was crazy. I couldn't do it. I couldn't love her the way I should. Mm, that's strong. And picking the wrong sister is crazy to me. Right. Like,
Wait, it's the porn DMC username. I'm fucking screaming. But he said drama makes some people feel like they are really living life. And honestly, that's facts. And that's why we're talking about this, because it's something that happens so often. And we're trying to provide solutions for people that may find themselves in the situation or have had someone do it to them, and just how to navigate through it.
so how you feel about ex-spouse hanging with ex-friends? What if you meet unknowingly and you found out about it a week later?
That happened to me if you heard the story in the beginning.
Yeah, that happened to D, and it was a wild story. But
Yeah,
just
quick.
one. I'm sorry, babe.
I said I dipped out real quick. You want to answer the ex spouse hanging with ex friends thing?
Yeah. So how you feel about ex hanging with ex friends? Love you too, Shard. Thank you for tuning in, babe.
Um,
Chat
I,
soon. Absolutely.
I'm going to speak from a personal experience. And this is something that I don't know if it will directly answer your question or not, because it might just be a different circumstance. It's not like considered a short fling or anything like that. But my parents were married for 21 years, and all of my mom's friends love my dad. Like, my parents have not been together for like 14 years now, and my mom's friends grew up with my dad because my parents met when they were like 23 years old. So for 21 years, my dad was around my mom's friends, and he was like a brother to them. So when my parents got divorced, her friends were heartbroken over it because they love my dad. So whenever my
Right.
dad was in now, so whenever they go to Florida, they like want to go say hi to my dad and meet up with my dad and stuff like that. Now, I think that it's different when you're older and like you're remarried and you have kids. You kind of like don't really care and have that like jealous or uncomfortable feeling anymore. Like some things just kind of go out the window. But I feel like if it's our age and like my ex is hanging out with my homegirls now, that's probably like a different scenario where there would be a little bit more discomfort, and people would be like, what the fuck in that kind of a situation. Like, it's more considered disrespectful in a sense. What do you think,
Oh,
Yanni?
I think that is absolutely true. I salute y'all. You are genuinely trying to help. Our race needs y'all. Oh, thank you.
Thank
That
you,
was so
porn D.
yeah, porn DMC. You are the man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, but I do agree with you 100% because I feel like back in the day, when it comes to like our parents, there were things that in today's world is just not valued and it's not respected. So what happens is this, I feel like our generation and this generation coming up, it's more of like whatever fulfills me and whatever makes me happy, that's what I'm going to go for regardless of whoever's feelings or whoever is around me, because it's about me. And I'm not saying it's everybody, but that's what you see a lot of, which is like, well, I'm going to do it because that we have chemistry and I feel great and that's what I'm going to go for. I don't care whose man it is. I don't care whose girl it is. And it's like, no, there are certain boundaries and lines that you do not cross. You
Exactly.
know, you don't there's certain lines that you just do not cross. I've had friends, self-worth is conflated with selfish. That right
100%.
there. That's so true. That is so true. This generation and this coming up have no idea what service and respect is. That's another thing. And
It's
it's
a whole
true.
new, guys. I think that should be another topic that we discuss at a later date.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And just a note is, if that happens to you where you have an ex's friend slide into your DMs talking about they want to, do this or go out with you, or they try to persuade you to not feel bad, like, oh, I don't even talk to them anymore. Don't even respond. Ignore them. Block them. You do not need to partake in something that you don't even feel comfortable doing, that you think. And this is for people that feel this way, that really do feel this way, not the people that really are like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna still do it. I'm talking about the people that really they get persuaded into thinking, oh, the whole time this I was supposed to be with this person. No, you don't have to go with that. Trust and believe me and D when we tell you there are so many other options out there. And the reality is, you will find someone. And it doesn't have to be your friends, your ex's friends. It really doesn't. Take the higher horse. Okay. What is it? The high horse? How do you say it, D?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And just keep it pushing. Period.
The last thing I have to say is, and it goes along and coincides with what you just said, is don't let somebody ever persuade you to think that you're overreacting about a relationship, a dynamic, someone hooking up with someone, that you've been with anything in that category, because your feelings are valid. And if you ever feel that something that was done is disrespecting you or making you feel uncomfortable, then you need to cut those people out of your life, because the minute that you're not respected and the minute that your feelings aren't protected by somebody that's apparently a friend or someone in your life, then they're not a friend. And if they're willing to do something to cross you or stab you in the back, then they're not really someone that's meant to be affiliated with who you are. And you have a right to feeling uncomfortable. You have a right to feeling like something shouldn't be happening between two individuals. And if it makes you feel any type of way, don't try to let somebody convince you that you're overreacting, because you're not.
Period. Exactly. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in to our weekly Wednesday, 7 p.m. live on TikTok. It's always a pleasure. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow us. Follow Daria Marie 790. Make sure y'all go follow my girl. Okay. Follow her. Follow us on Love Solutions Podcast. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Love on 101 FYI. Thank you so much for having an open discussion with us. And that's what we love. We love having open discussions where you are comfortable. We love the fact that no one was cursing at each other or disrespecting one another, because that's not what we're about. We're about having open discussions, sharing opinions, and coming up with solutions all together. So it's very appreciated, guys. So go follow your girl. Go follow Daria. Subscribe to our podcast, Love Solutions Podcast. And if you have any topics that you would like us to offer solutions for, hey, Fatima, hello. The YouTube channel is Love Solutions Podcast. So put it in your search engine, Love Solutions Podcast, and it'll pop up. You'll see our faces in a pink frame. That is us. Okay.
DMC said he will be back. And just so you know, those are my initials, so I already rock with you. And thank you guys so much. I'm going to piggyback off of what Yanni said. I love that there was such a respectful rapport tonight, and everybody was supporting one another and speaking from their mind and from their heart and from experience. And we really appreciate you guys being here, and we look forward to seeing you every week and next week.
Yes. Also, the link to the YouTube channel is in our recent video, is on my page. Go to that recent video, copy and paste the link into your search engine, and you'll be able to subscribe right away. All right. Peace and love, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's your girl, Sayani.
And love. It's your girl, Daria Marie. Good night, everybody.
Good night.